The e-content is exclusively meant for academic purposes and for enhancing teaching and learning. Any other use for economic commercial purposes is strictly prohibited. The users of the content shall not distribute, disseminate, or share it with anyone else, and its use is restricted to advancement of individual knowledge. The information provided in this e-content is developed from authentic references to the best of my knowledge. Very short presentation consisting of just barely 10 slides. And this lecture basically questions why Faraday could not observe the presence of the displacement current, and it also goes on to establish the wave equation from Maxwell's equations for free space. This is actually an insertion between Maxwell's equations, which has already been uploaded, and electromagnetic waves in free space, which again has already been uploaded. The obvious question is, why could Faraday not see this so-called effect which Maxwell could? Well, the answer is very simple. Whenever a changing electric field is present, there are charges in motion. And if we tend to include the effects for both J and JD, the net effect is zero for very slowly varying fields. Now, curl of E is equal to minus del V by del T, and the displacement current density is epsilon 0 delta E by delta T. So curl of the displacement current density is epsilon 0 curl of delta E by delta T, which is equal to epsilon 0 delta by delta T of curl of E, which is equal to epsilon 0 delta by delta T of minus delta B by delta T, which is equal to minus delta 2B by delta T square. And this term is negligible for sufficiently slow changes in the field. Such a field is known as a quasi-static field. In a quasi-static field, then, a conduction current alone is the only source needed to account for the magnetic field. To see the new induction effect, we need rapidly changing fields. In fact, we need changes to occur at the speed of light, as was demonstrated by Hertz 50 years after Maxwell. To sum up, we can say the Maxwell's equations are divergence of E is equal to rho upon epsilon naught, which is Gauss's law for electrostatics. Divergence of B is equal to 0. This is Gauss's law for magnetostatics. Curl of B is equal to mu 0 J plus mu 0 epsilon 0 delta E by delta T. This is Maxwell's modification of Ampere's circuital theorem. And curl of E is equal to minus del V by del T. This is Faraday's law of electromagnetic induction. We want to write down Maxwell's equations for both free space and with sources. They read as divergence of E is equal to 0, divergence of B is equal to 0, curl of B is equal to mu 0 epsilon 0 delta E by delta T, curl of E is equal to minus del B by delta T. These are Maxwell's equations in free space. And Maxwell's equations with sources are divergence of E is equal to rho upon epsilon naught, divergence of B is equal to 0, curl of B is equal to mu 0 J plus mu 0 epsilon 0 delta E by delta T, and curl of E is equal to minus del B by del T. We summarize the Maxwell's equations. Then the first Maxwell equation, Gauss law for electrostatics, describes charge and electric field, basically electrostatic field. And the crucial experiments are like charges repel, unlike charges attract. And also that the charge on an insulated conductor moves to its outer surface. The second law is Gauss's law for magnetism. Divergence of B is equal to 0, and it tends to describe the magnetic field. The basic conclusion for divergence of B being 0 is that isolation of a single magnetic pole is impossible. Maxwell's modification of Ampere's circuital theorem, this is the most crucial of Maxwell's equations, and it is the third equation. It is curl of B is equal to mu 0 J plus mu 0 epsilon 0 delta E by delta T, and it describes the magnetic effect of a changing electric field or current. The crucial experiments are that a current in a wire sets up a magnetic field near it, and speed of light can be calculated from purely electromagnetic measurements. The fourth of Maxwell's equations is simply Faraday's law of electromagnetic induction, which is curl of E is equal to minus del B by del T, and it describes the electrical effect of a changing magnetic field. The crucial experiment is that a bar magnet thrust through a closed loop of wire will set up a current in the loop. The most important application of Maxwell's equations comes for the description of electromagnetic waves in free space. Maxwell's assumption of the displacement current was one of the major triumphs of the electromagnetic theory, for it provided a very complete description in electromagnetic terms of all diverse phenomena associated with the transmission of radiation. In free space, there is no net charge density and the conductivity is zero. Thus, for free space, the four fundamental differential equations become divergence of E equal to 0, divergence of B equal to 0, curl of E equal to minus del B by del T, and curl of B is equal to mu 0 epsilon 0 delta E by delta T. We now describe the wave equation and see that it can be derived both from two different Maxwell's equations. If we take curl of E, on the right hand side we will get the curl of minus del V by del T. Now the operator curl and the operator delta by delta T are independent, so we can take curl inside the del by del T sign. But we know that curl of B is equal to mu 0 epsilon 0 delta E by delta T. So curl E is equal to minus delta by delta T mu 0 epsilon 0 delta E by delta T. But curl E is equal to grad di V minus del square E. Now in free space, divergence of E is 0. So we only get del square E equal to mu 0 epsilon 0 delta 2E by delta T square. An identical equation comes when we take curl of B. On the right hand side we will get curl of mu 0 epsilon 0 delta E by delta T, which is equal to mu 0 epsilon 0 delta by delta T of curl of E, which is equal to mu 0 epsilon 0 delta by delta T of minus delta B by delta T, which is equal to mu 0 epsilon 0 delta 2B by delta T square. Now curl B is equal to grad di V minus del square B. Again, divergence of B is 0. Therefore, curl B is simply equal to minus del square B, which is equal to minus mu 0 epsilon 0 delta 2B by delta T square. Therefore, del square B is equal to mu 0 epsilon 0 delta 2B by delta T square.